Well, yesterday we just skimmed the surface of Julio Rosas and Mike Howell and their congressional testimony on the Biden border crisis. So, here to give us the full story himself is our Blaze Media national correspondent, Julio Rosas. So, Julio, we watched some of the videos yesterday. They were so entertaining. So, tell us what it was like actually being there yesterday and giving that testimony, because you have seen so much of this Biden border crisis up close and personal with your own eyes.
Yeah, it was another good reminder why I moved away from Washington D.C. because as great as it was to be part of that hearing, one of the things that was interesting that the Democrats were supposed to have a witness, as is customary. However, their witness, which was the Archbishop for the Diocese of Miami, he backed out at the last minute, and so were unable, to my knowledge, unable to find a replacement witness, and so it was just us three Republican witnesses. And it was going in, it was like, okay, well, the Democrats don't have a witness to bounce off of, so what are they going to do? Are they just going to monologue? Yes. But then they also decided to do these committee votes to try to subpoena different administration officials, frivolously, in my opinion. And that grounded the hearing to a very slow crawl because you had to get all the members back in. These votes were not scheduled, so you didn't know if a Democrat was going to use their time to do that. But that aside, it was good just because. I mean, I know I sound like a broken drum, but yeah, I've been at the border for 4 years during this crisis. I've seen a lot. I saw it firsthand for a long time, and yes, it's over now. But people want to see accountability, and one of the ways that we can look at, with the federal government, is the NGOs that help facilitated that crisis. Because, as I said in my testimony, the Biden administration could not have done this of flooding our country with millions of illegal immigrants if they didn't have the NGOs that use taxpayer dollars to provide that processing support. And so they were very much front and center. Democrats were saying that, oh, we're just going after these religious institutions. It's no, we're going after institutions who used our taxpayer money to facilitate an invasion. And them happening to be a Catholic organization or Jewish organization or Islamic, Lutheran, that's secondary. That's not really the point. The point is, did you take taxpayer money, a lot of taxpayer money, and did you participate in this? And the answer is yes. Then yeah, you should probably be held accountable.
One of my favorite parts of that testimony, you had a lot of bangers, as they say, in there. It was well received online for good reason, as you were speaking the truth, but also from a very authoritative vantage point, which is someone who's been there and seen these things. And what you said about Antifa was great. Tell us a little bit about that.
So when the last time I appeared before the House Homeland Security Committee, Congressman Dan Goldman of Wall Street, New York, he used an outdated and factually incorrect quote from the former FBI director, Chris Wray, who at the time said that Antifa was just an ideology. It wasn't actually part of a larger movement. There weren't actually people behind that ideology, which doesn't make sense because in order for an ideology to exist, you need people to exist to believe in it. But so he used that quote to say, no, we don't listen to this conservative writer. We have to listen to the FBI director instead. Well, I haven't forgotten about that. And that's good because I've seen Antifa be part of these anti-ICE riots from Los Angeles, Portland, and Seattle. And most disturbingly, there is an Antifa cell that's linked to that attempted ambush at an ICE facility in North Texas. And so I used the last bit of my time in my opening statement to tell Dan Goldman to his face that you were wrong then, you're wrong right now, and I was right. And true to fashion, he did not look up from his, I believe, his phone or his iPad. He did not look at me when I said that to him, which was quite amusing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, Antifa's real. They're very dangerous. They're using this, anti-ICE sentiment to their advantage to cause, chaos and disruption in different parts of the country.
Antifa's real. We know it. You were not alone, though. We mentioned at the top that Mike Howell, president of Oversight Project, was also there testifying. And if you watch this show, you know who Mike is. But one of my favorite clips that came out of yesterday, Congressman Eli Crane actually put out that the Democrats were not ready for Mike Howell. Let's go ahead and watch SOT 3.
You're a big fan of oversight. Do you think that is acceptable treatment of human beings by the United States of America?
For illegal aliens to be detained throughout their immigration proceedings, yes, I think it's the law.
To be treated in
I'm not taking your word for it.
There's an entire clip online. People should go watch the whole thing. But I just loved, you know what, like yesterday was just a way of Republicans and conservatives teaching the libs, no, you don't just get to go do this. We're going to reject your premises. We're going to show the factual inaccuracies, the lies that they were telling. So I just love seeing yourself and Mike Howell up there yesterday doing all that.
It was frustrating because, and it's part of the process, right? The Democrats are going to use their 5 minutes to say whatever. But one of them, Al Green, he looked at us and he said, "I don't actually believe that you think that Catholic Charities did anything wrong." And I was able to respond, thanks to Congressman Knott. But it's like, well, first off, the only reason, and also Congressman Correa, who represents Santa Ana, the Democrat on that committee, he said that I needed to be careful with my testimony because you're naming Catholic Charities. And I said, why? I interrupted him. I said, why? And he goes, well, because you're accusing them of doing all these horrific things. So yeah, I mentioned them because I saw them blatantly and openly participate in one of the largest human trafficking operations in human history, recent history. So again, the fact that their name is Catholic Charities, that has nothing to do with it. It's the organization itself. And again, it's concerning that you're taking issue with us supposedly going after these religious groups, and you're not concerned with these supposed religious groups taking part in these horrific human rights abuses that these people endured while invading our country at the same time. Like, that doesn't concern you. You like the whole reason why that this is relevant to the committee is because taxpayer dollars through FEMA were used for this to happen, right? I mean, so we're not just making things up out of the air, which of course they were accusing us of doing, but I did not see a single Democrat down at the border in the 4 years I was there. I went to a Homeland Security Committee in McAllen. No Democrat showed up. I was with a House Judiciary Committee in Yuma, Arizona. No Democrat showed up. The only time I saw Democrats have an even faint interest in the border was when there was that giant whipping hoax from Border Patrol when Haitians invaded Del Rio back in 2021. All of a sudden, it's a racist thing happened, so we have to show up. And of course, it was completely false. The Border Patrol isn't even issued whips. So all of it was fake. All of it was phony. They try to accuse us of not caring about kids, which again, they haven't said. They didn't even address the 300,000 children that unaccompanied minors that went missing by Biden's HHS. But that's part of that's what you sign up for when you're part of these things. But yeah, they're just full of it.
I mean, you mentioned so many facts. You mentioned the horrendous amount of rape that occurred, in those caravans, and so much else. And what was so interesting to me about that hearing was how contentious it was just for you guys to tell the truth of really documented stuff. There was no speculation in it. So big kudos to you and to contributor Mike Howell for being there. I felt like that must have been gratifying for you to after all these years, to be able to just speak truth to power, really and truly, and for us to blow that up. But before we leave, we have to talk about a little clip that comes from you, and it's labeled here as I like the way they labeled it, Lib St. Pete's guy. Can we show this?
Show me, you short boy. Look at this guy. Look at you, bro. Come on. Where you at? Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Put you in the bathroom. Come on. Come close. Jump. Come close. Ready? You ready? Oh, you want something? Ready? Come on. Come on. Your car. They're going to steal your car. They're going to steal your car.
Hey, come over here.
Oh, now he's fighting. Now he's fighting.
Can you tell me what the hell I just watched?
So really quick. So it was outside Turning Point USA's Student Action Summit in Tampa, and there were students outside. There's people outside, and of the venue. And this guy saw them and started yelling at them. And his body was halfway out the window of his car, and he was under the influence, and it was evident because he didn't even put his car in park. So he kept hopping out of the window and then having to come back in to tap on the brakes, but he didn't put it in park. He eventually put it in park, and then that's where you see the video starts, where he's outside the vehicle, and I'm thinking, there's no way he's coming over. There's all these people on this side of the fence right here. Like, there's no reason for him to come over to try to start anything. Well, sure enough, he comes over and he's threatening me. He was threatening my fellow reporter Jonathan Cho, and then this guy comes up from behind him. He doesn't attack first. The guy in black, he doesn't attack first, but this guy Trevor Smith, as you see on video, he makes the first strike and he goes after him again. And then we have Tampa Police Department acting swiftly to take care of that. So it was very it was just interesting to see, because you contrast that with, let's say in a liberal district, or like Los Angeles, it might have played out a little bit more differently, right? So I believe that this gentleman will be held accountable, because they did charge him. The third charge is a DUI, so he was under the influence of something, and people were making note of that. Since I was zoomed in on his face, you can see his eyes were kind of glazed over. So it was a weekend, so it might have been just an extremely long, and it turns out expensive brunch.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think that things that he didn't know, Julio is a Marine, and riot season is Julio's favorite season. You're not going to win. You're not going to come in as a newbie and go up against Julio and everybody else that's out there. Come on.
He's apparently he's a pickleball instructor. So I don't know if
that is the best. You can't make any of that stuff up. That is so good. That clip went everywhere, just like Julio. He's always on the scene, bringing us the latest. Thanks so much, Julio. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Thanks.